morning, white-haired gardener here. You might remember that on our last video we had seeded all of this area, kept the chickens out of it, so you can see how beautifully it grew back. Our chickens had been jumping the fence, so we mentioned that it was time to trim their wings. Well, we had a beautiful video set up. All the chicken wings got trimmed. Unfortunately, due to technical difficulties, we had absolutely no sound. So I'm going to walk you through the procedure on here on my volunteer, who isn't really happy to be here again, but letting you know this is how you trim your chickens' wings and why you do it. We only trim one side because it kind of throws them off when they're trying to fly and they can't really get any lift, and then they kind of spiral around so they won't jump the fence. And as you can see, it has worked. We finally have a beautiful section of grass here and all is well. Now, can you get a close-up on this, Mr. White-haired Gardener, or are you too far away? Okay, well, here we go. This is how we do it. It is very simple, and I want to walk you through it. Now, I tuck the chicken's head under my arm, and I'm right-handed, so I always tuck her under my left side. You pull out the wing, and as you can see, you have secondary feathers and you have primary feathers. Usually there's about 10 primary feathers, and what I did is trimmed it, about an inch down from these little short feathers right here. And that's all you really need to do. You got to be careful though. If there's pink in through here, that means that the chicken has, it's like your cuticles. If you get too close, you can trim your nails too close and it'll start to bleed. The same thing with chicken wings. If you trim it too close, you could harm the chicken, and believe me, that will hurt and they won't thank you for it. But you trim this area and make sure your scissors are sharp. You would not do to make a mess of this. Trim it through here. I usually do about an inch or 2 inches below these little short feathers here, and that has been sufficient for me. Now, if by some accident that you do trim a little too close and your chicken starts to bleed, you can get flour, cornstarch or something and take it right at the edge of where it's bleeding and pinch it closed. Oftentimes that will be enough to stop the bleeding. If it doesn't, your chicken can bleed out, so you have to be careful on this. The last resort is to take a pair of pliers and pluck the feather. Now, it will sting on your chicken and she will not be really happy, but she won't bleed out. And that would be the safest thing to do. But basically, that's all you do. Cut this direction away from yourself. Don't try to cut close. And you just go here with a nice sharp pair of scissors. I think I accidentally said knife the first time. But sharp pair of scissors, trim that, and that's all you need to do. Now, these girls have already all been trimmed, so I can't really show you in action, but it is the simplest thing. Just tuck their head under, splay the feathers out, trim the primary feathers, and you're done. It's just like clipping your nails, only with feathers. That's all I can have right now. Since you've seen our beautiful yard, I believe Mr. White-haired Gardener panned across that, so like, share, and subscribe, and please come back again.